Hi, second graders. Miss Jaskolski here. Let's get into our next chapter of our book. We are on chapter 6, The Perfect Babysitter. The next morning, Sheila cornered my mother on the porch. She had the brilliant idea that she should babysit Fudge and that Mom should pay her. Look at it this way, Mrs. Hatcher, Sheila said, making her case. You're always worrying about him, right? You never know what he might do, and this is supposed to be your vacation. Wouldn't it be nice if you could relax? Remember the last time Sheila babysat Fudge, I told Mom? Remember how he lost his 2 front teeth trying to fly off the monkey bars? That was years ago, Mrs. Hatcher, Sheila said. Fudge wasn't even 3, and I took a babysitting course this year. I guarantee satisfaction. No babysitting course could prepare you for Fudge, I argued. But Mom wasn't listening to me. She said, I think you have a good point, Sheila. I would be more relaxed with someone looking after Fudge. Who ever heard of a wife babysitting her husband, I asked. Everyone knows this marriage thing is a joke, Sheila said. Everyone except you, Peter. Yeah, what about the groom? He thinks it's for real. $7 a day, Mom said to Sheila. 2 hours in the morning and 4 in the afternoon. If we need you after supper, we'll pay extra. It's a deal, Sheila said, shaking Mom's hand. Then she skipped off singing, hi-ho, hi-ho. It's off to work we go. What about me, I asked Mom. What am I supposed to do while she's babysitting Fudge? Why, Peter, Mom said, I thought you'd welcome the chance to have time to yourself. Yeah. Once Jimmy Fargo gets here. Well, maybe you and Sheila can watch Fudge together until Jimmy comes. Together? Yes, together. And you'll pay me too? I'm paying $7 a day, Mom said. I don't care how you split it. But Sheila wasn't interested in sharing her salary with me. It was my idea, she said. Why should I give up half of my money? Because he's too much for one person to handle. I can handle anything, Peter. I'm a very responsible person. She turned away from me and called, Fudgy, where are you? Up here, honey, Fudge called back in his best husband voice. He was sitting on a branch in the swing tree. What are you doing up there? Sheila asked, standing under him. Resting, Fudge said. A bird always rests after breakfast. I've got news for you, I told him. You're not a bird. I'm practicing for when I grow up, he said. You're not going to be a bird when you grow up, I reminded him. I know. I'm not going to be a bird, he said, swinging his feet. I'm going to be a bird breather. What's a bird breather? Sheila asked. Somebody who breathes for birds. I never heard of that, Sheila said. People don't breathe for birds. That's how much you know. Sheila looked at me. He means a bird breeder, I said. Without me around, she'll never understand him. Oh, a bird breeder, Sheila said. That makes more sense. What makes more sense? Fudge asked. Being a bird breeder, Shirley said. What's a breeder? Fudge asked. Someone who breeds birds and animals, Sheila said. What's breeds? Sheila looked at me again. You wanted to be in charge, I said. You answer his questions. It's someone who raises animals, Sheila explained. Like a dog breeder raises dogs, and a cat breeder raises cats, and a bird breeder raises birds. And a baby breeder raises babies, Fudge asked. Not exactly, Sheila told him. Parents raise babies. How come baby breeders don't raise babies? I don't know, Sheila said. It just doesn't work that way. I started to laugh. Just wait till she finds out how many questions he asks a day. Now come down from that tree, Sheila told Fudge. No. Very well, she said, sounding exactly like our 5th grade teacher. She marched off towards the garage and came back with a 10-foot ladder. Just as she got it to the tree, Fudge scrambled down fast as a squirrel. Ha-ha, he sang. Fooled you, didn't I? Sheila put her hands on his shoulder and her face right up close to his. Now listen to me, Fudge Hatcher. I made a deal with your mother. I'm going to be your babysitter, and he didn't wait for her to finish. I thought you were going to be my wife. First, I'm going to be your babysitter, she said, and if that works out, we'll talk about the wedding. After lunch, everyone went off to their afternoon activities, just like at summer camp. Libby went to work at Ickle's Ice Cream Parlor. Grandma and Buzzy Sr. went for a hike in Acadia National Park. Mom and Dad took Tootsie to the pond to see the ducks. The Tubmans went to visit friends, and Sheila took Fudge down to the beach. So for once, there was no one around to bother me. No one asked stupid questions. This is the life, I thought, as I stretched out in the hammock in the backyard. I can do anything I feel like doing now. I can finish my Gary Paulson book or ride my bicycle out to the lighthouse. I looked over at Turtle, who was sleeping in the sun. I could tell he was having a dream by the way his legs and tail twitched. I thought about taking him for a walk. He could use the exercise. Since we got here, he's been sleeping a lot. A walk to the beach would do him good. I jumped up and called, Come on, boy, let's go have some fun. Turtle opened his eyes and looked at me. He yawned. Don't you want to go to the beach? I asked, tugging at his collar, but he still wouldn't budge. Okay, fine, I told him, just sit there. I walked away, sure he would follow me, but when I turned back to check, he was asleep again. Who cares, I thought. I don't need him. I don't need anyone. I can have plenty of fun on my own. I walked through the woods to the beach. Sheila and Fudge were out in front of Mrs. A's house, rock hunting. What a joke. The whole beach is made of pink rocks. When the tide is out, you can walk on rocks for miles. I headed in their direction. At first, they didn't notice me. They were too busy choosing rocks to dump in their buckets. So I snuck up right behind Sheila and made a loud barking sound. Ruff! Sheila jumped about 3 feet. She was really mad when she saw it was me. Who invited you? She shouted. It's a public beach, I told her. I don't need an invitation. I want you to know, Peter Hatcher, that even if you spend all day every day with us, you're still not getting a penny of my babysitting money. I don't want your money. Then what are you doing here? She asked. Anyone who feels like being here can be here, I told her. So how come you didn't feel like being here before? How come you suddenly feel like it now? I spread my arms wide and sang as loud as I could. Who can explain it? Who can tell you why? Fudge started laughing. Don't encourage him, Sheila said. I kept on singing, fools give you reasons, wise men never try. I learned that song last night from Buzzy Sr. and Grandma. It's called Some Enchanted Evening. This is too embarrassing for words, Sheila said. I would have kept on singing, but Mrs. A called from her porch. Yoo-hoo, yoo-hoo, boys, she waved us. Did you find your uncle? He was at home, Fudge called back. He was hiding. That's a relief. I was worried. What uncle? Sheila asked. Uncle Feather, Fudge said. She thinks he's my real uncle. Why would she think that? Sheila said. She just does, Fudge said. Right, Pete? Yeah, right, I told him. But that doesn't make any sense, Sheila said. A lot of things don't make any sense, Fudge said. Like a bird breather, I thought. Yoo-hoo, Mrs. A called again. Come up and have a snack. Mitzi's here. Fudge took off and Sheila panicked. Wait for me, Fudgy, she called. She tried to lift the bucket, but the perfect babysitter hadn't stopped to think about how much rocks weigh. Want some help, I asked. I don't need your help. She dumped all the rocks out of the bucket, then turned it upside down over them. Worried someone's going to steal your rocks, I said. These rocks are special. Oh, I guess I didn't notice that there's about 2 zillion more exactly like them. You're hopeless, Peter. Really hopeless. That's better than what you are, I called, but I don't think she heard me. She was already running up the beach after Fudge. I followed. Not that I wasn't perfectly happy on my own, but why miss out on one of Mrs. A's snacks? That is the end of the chapter for today. I will see you all again tomorrow.